Hello guys, welcome to my YouTube channel Linux Techie. Today this video is based on Linux POSIX permissions. So let's get started. What is POSIX permissions? POSIX permissions are standards that define how Unix interacts with application. Among other things, POSIX permissions defines a permission structure for accessing files and folder. What are Linux permissions and how can we understand them? Everything in Linux is file or directory, and we have three levels of permission on each file or directory within the system. And we also have three types of permission on file and directory. So first let's discuss levels of permissions. So we have three levels of permissions. First is user or owner, another one is group, and the third one is everyone or all users. So user, the user permissions apply only the owner of the file or a directory. They will not impact the actions of other users. And the group permission apply only to the group that has been assigned to the file or directory. They will not affect the actions of other users. And the third one is all users, or we can say others. The all users permissions apply to all others user on the system. This is the permission group that you want to watch the most. So basically we have three levels. One is user, group, and others. So whenever you have a file or a directory, so let's discuss about, suppose we have one file. So we have three levels of permission in that file. One is group, another one is user, and all. So how much permission a user have on that file, and how much permission a group have on that file, and how much permission everyone have on that file. So we have three types of permission. First one is read and write and execute. Read permission is just to read any file, and write permission is write permission is you can write a file or you can write something in the directory. And we need execute permission in directory. You cannot switch into the directory if you do not have execute permission, and you can also not execute any script within the system if the script doesn't have any execute permission. So as you can see here, the first dash denotes the file type. If it is blank, that means it is a file, and if you can see D here, that means it is a directory. So after this dash, these three octets, read, write, and execute, is for user, and the another three is for group, and the another three is for others, means everyone. As you can see, read, write, execute, read, write, and execute permission for the file owner, read, write, execute permission for the group owner, read, write, execute permission for all other users. So let's understand binary references to set permission. So read is having 4 as a binary, and write is having 2, and execute is having 1. So the maximum permission on any directory could be only 7, means 4 plus 2 plus 1. If there is a 7, means user can read, write, and execute. So as I told you, the first three is for user. That means if a user have 7, that means user can read, write and execute. And another 7 is for group, and the third one is for others. So 740 means read, write, execute, and read, then dash, because 4 denotes only read. So in the place of write and execute there is just dash, and in the 0 for others you can see another 3 dash, means no permissions. So let's have a quick practical example of this. So we have few files here. Let's take one file. So here you can see the first one is empty. Dash means it is just a file, not a directory. And the first three denotes read, write and dash. Read, write, dash means read is 4, write means 2 and execute means once. And here we can see read, write, dash means 4 plus 2. That means it is a 6 and 4 and 4. So the permission set on this file is 644. So let's give a permission to 777 to this file. Chmod is a command to set permission into the file or a directory. So chmod 777 means read, write, execute to user, read, write, execute to group, and read, write, execute to all others in the file name banner.jpg. So now if we see the permissions, we can see read, write, execute, read, write, execute, and read, write, execute. So let's have another example. Suppose I want to give no permissions to the group section. So what I can do is chmod group minus read, write, execute banner. So this command will revoke the permissions of read, write, execute from group. So now we can see in the group section we can see 3 dashes, means no permissions. We can also revoke permissions from others. O minus read, write, execute. So we do not have any permission in the other section as well. So let's give read permissions to group, read, in the banner file. So now we can see read, write, execute for user, and for group it is only read, no execute and no write permission. So let's have another example. We have another example, chmod -R, and this command is giving read, write, execute permission to user. So let's see any directory we have. Let's create directory, permission directory, so we have permission directory here, and we already have read, write, execute permission here. And as you can see, D is in the first dash, means it is a directory. So first revoke the permission chmod user minus read write execute permission. So now we can see we do not have any permissions to user. User and group means this file or directory is having this username and this group ownership. So the owner of this directory is root and the group owner of this directory is also root. If you are root, you can manipulate or you can copy or you can execute any file because root is the highest level of authorized user. So we can give recursively because if this directory is containing files, then we need to use -r for that, so that all the files inside the group or inside the folder as well set the permissions. User plus read write execute permission folder. Now we can see in the permission we have full permission, right, read write execute permission. So let's move forward, and we have two level of ownership on the file. As I just told you, we have two ownership. One is user ownership, another one is group ownership. So if you want to give permission to the root group ownership, so let me just one second. If you want to change the ownership of the directory or a file, you can use ChmodN command, means change ownership. Change ownership of user is, I have Mohit user exist in my system, so I can use that, and group should be root only permission. And since it is a directory, since it is a directory, we need to give recursive option here. Now you can see the permission directory owner is changed to Mohit. And let's create a group add test group, and let's what you can do with the group is, suppose you want to give permission to this folder to more than one user, like you have 10 users and you want to give all 10 users to that permission. So what you can do is you can add that 10 users inside the test group with the command user mode -add into the group name is test group and the user is Mohit. So if you see in the etc group section, you can see it is a group name and all the users will be here. So Mohit user is inside the test group. So let's first change the ownership to root again. If you do not give the colon and the group name, that means you are setting only user, you are changing only the user ownership. So I have changed root as a owner to the permission. Now Mohit user does not have any access to this permission folder, but what we can do is we can change the group name, we can change the group owner of this permission folder like this. As you can see, the group test group is now the group owner of permission folder. So these permission will work for the whole test group. and any user uh, who is the member of this group will be having this permission only. So chmod group plus read write execute to the permission folder recursively. So now any user which belongs to the test group is having full permission to this folder. Read, write, execute both. So we have covered the basic Linux permissions today. We have covered what is POSIX permission and the level of permissions, type of permissions, the binary. Yeah, we can also give permission with the binary references. So if I want to assign 7 means read write execute to user, and 7 read write execute to group, and 7 read write execute to others. No, I don't want to give permission to all the users. I just want to set the permission to the user owner and the group owner of this directory. And recursively, yeah. So now you can see full permission mean read write execute is set to the user, read write execute set to the group, and no permission set to the others, as we gave 0 permission. So we have covered the basic permissions in the Linux. So I'll cover the advanced permissions like sticky bit, SID, SGID in the next video. Keep watching Linux Techie, and please watch my next video onto the advanced permissions of Linux operating system. I will teach you advanced permissions and as well as ACLs in Linux. So thank you for watching, and those who have not subscribed yet, please do subscribe, like and share as much as possible. Thanks to all.